Great Debaters Contest is powered by Blaze, by Safaricom, the Youth Network.
This is the Meru edition of the Great Debaters Contest, hot, sizzling, and edutaining. I am Austin Yombok.
And I am Mariam Bishar. We have Mnara boys all the way from Garissa County going versus our host school, Meru School, on whether all states should ban private healthcare in favor of a more comprehensive public healthcare system. We'll have them take the stage now. Proposal number 1, you have 3 minutes.
I, Morgan Mwenda, swear to fulfill to the best of my ability and judgment this covenant. I will remember that I do not treat a fever chart, a cancerous growth, but a sick human being whose illness may affect the person's family and economic stability. My responsibility includes these related problems. I will remember that I remain a member of society with special obligations to all my fellow beings, those of sound body and mind, as well as the infirm. If I do not violate this oath, may I enjoy life and art, respected while I live, and remembered with affection thereafter. May I always act to preserve the finest traditions of my calling, and may I long experience the joy of healing those who seek my help. The Hippocratic Oath, as said by every doctor. I do propose that all states should ban the private healthcare system in favor of a comprehensive public healthcare system. We can define the private healthcare system as healthcare and medicine offered by entities other than the government. We can define the public healthcare system as healthcare and medicine offered by the government itself. We can define comprehensive healthcare as an approach that cares for the whole of the needs of the patient, not just his physical and medicinal needs, but all the rest, using the services of a team of many professionals. Indeed, we should ban the private healthcare systems for the public healthcare systems. Why? We can see that it is failing. Our current system is failing. For example, I do propose that we ban them, yet transfer the facilities and manpower previously in the private healthcare system to the new public healthcare system to create a robust and unshutterable system for our citizens. With this, we'll be in line with SDG number 3, healthcare and well-being, all for the betterment of our country. For example, we have only one MRI machine in the public healthcare system, the Kenyatta National Hospital one. Yet, in private hospitals such as the Karen Hospital, the Aga Khan Hospital, the Nairobi West Clinic, each have their own MRI machines. Now, imagine if we could transfer these facilities to the public hospitals at an affordable rate. For example, again, we have the best professionals and specialists in the private healthcare system. For example, the best cardiologist in Kenya, Dr. Dan Gikonyo, serves from the Nairobi Heart Clinic, yet he's too unaffordable for the ordinary Kenyan. 80% of our population goes to seek healthcare from the public healthcare system, yet 50% of the country lives below the poverty line. How do we afford treatment for cancer going at $300 in a private hospital, while the same goes for 60 times less at the Kenyatta National Hospital? I believe a transference, a mergence with the private healthcare system to the public healthcare system is the solution. We can see that cancer is killing too many people because it is unaffordable. The treatment is too expensive in our hospitals. Yet, at the private sectors, we have a lot of opportunities. We have treatment affordable by the ordinary Kenyan. We cannot just concentrate on one class of Kenyan. Again, it will be in line with SDG number 10, equality, reduced inequalities. We need to make it equal for the rich and the poor. They all need to have a standardized system. The president of Tanzania, Magufuli, took his wife to a public national hospital. We have to make the same possible for our country. Morgan Mwenda.
Mnara boys, you have 3 minutes for your opening statement.
I'm Nuruddin Mohammed from Mnara Boys High School, here to strongly oppose the motion that reads, states should ban the private healthcare in favor of a comprehensive public healthcare system. Since my first proposal never operationalized the definition according to the scope of this discussion, I would like to first of all define the terms as follows. A state is any politically organized community living under a single system of government. To ban is to forbid people from doing something, while private healthcare is the healthcare provided by entities other than the government. Public health care is the one provided by entities is the one provided by the government. Comprehensive in this context is very ironical because I don't see that there is a country which has done before or there is a country which will do in the future comprehensive policies. Is there anyone who can guarantee me in this room that there will be a day in this world where corruption will be 0%? And if there will be show of hands, if there was, I will have joined the proposer's side. Let's come on to my first point. If we compare the quality of service offered in private hospitals and the one offered in public hospitals, in both personnel and facilities, we find that in private hospitals we have qualified doctors, motivated doctors, who are medically examined to improve the service they offer to the patient. The patient takes shorter time to be treated, and there is also a choice of the doctor. Leave alone the private hospitals. The private wards inside the public hospitals like Kenyatta National Hospital offer better services, better facilities than the Kenyatta National Hospital itself. So why debate, why think of banning private healthcare in favor of comprehensive, or which it's not comprehensive, in favor of public crude health care system? Like the case, there is an ICU unit in my birthplace, Provincial General Hospital in Garissa County. The ICU unit is just there as a building. There is no facilities inside. Even the proposer said, Kenyatta National Hospitals have one radiotherapy machine, while Nairobi Hospital, which is a privately owned institution, has 2 radiotherapy machines. This is for the country. And the cancer case in this country is rising. So if the government never did anything before, I don't see the case that there will be anything in the future coming. Thank you all.
Meru School, you have 3 minutes for your rebuttal.
I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will live in a Kenya where its history will speak for its own, a history of glory and dignity. I think we have won ourselves another proposer. Yes, it is true that the private facilities offer better facilities, but whom are they serving? They are serving the rich and the affluent. Statistics have it that only 20% of our public is served by these private hospitals. The other 80% is being served by the public hospitals. I think my first proposer over here said that by banning them, we are not completely disintegrating the system. We are just combining the system. Sustainable development growth, number 17. Partnership for goals. Partnership for goals. We are coming together to build one unified public healthcare system. The MRIs in the private hospitals are few. In Kenyatta hospitals, it's only 1. In the private sectors, it goes for up to 300,000. Now tell me, 300,000. Where will the common Wanjiku find 300,000 to go for chemotherapy? Where will the common Mwananchi get 300,000 to go to get treatment for cancer? I think my friend over here have just said that corruption will never end in Kenya, but the glory of the hunt will always glorify the hunter until the lions have their own history. This just goes to say that we have not tried anything new. Why don't we not try it now? Let's look. Our public sector is ailing, while the private sector is flourishing. Flourishing, but serving who? Serving the rich, not serving the poor. Sustainable development growth, number 3. It goes for good health and being. Good health and being. Not for the poor, not for the rich, not for the rich, but for the poor. For everybody. Not only for the affluent or the people who have power in the society. Look at the example, the Tanzanian president, Dr. Magufuli. He sent his wife to the to the public sector. This shows that there is growing confidence in this sector. We cannot just say that the private sector can continue. How many times have we gone to a private hospital and we are served by goods written GOK, not for sale? How many times? What does this mean? This means that the private sector is just siphoning goods from the public sector. The public sector is given 60.2 billion. 60.2 billion for growth. But all this goes in serving the private sector. Please, let's join hands together and serve for a common comprehensive public unit. A luta continua. The struggle for better comprehensive care continues.
Mnara boys, you have 3 minutes for your rebuttal.
My name is Mnara Abdi Hussein from Mnara Boys High School, opposing the motion that says state should ban private healthcare in favor of a comprehensive public healthcare system. The last proposer has said that people receive good facilities from public healthcare center. My friend, I want to tell you that Kenya is colonized by British, as well as India was colonized by British. Yet India has privatized their healthcare system 80%. In China, they have privatized it 64%. Why not us? As I go straight to my point, embezzlement of funds and resources, this remains to be a narrative that will be spoken from one mouth to another as far as public healthcare system is concerned. In reality, what belongs to everybody does not belong to nobody, because currently public hospitals are underfunded, understated, and they have no facilities. That is because we cannot say that they don't have resources. Yes, indeed, we have plenty of resources, yet that plenty resources go to the pockets of few individuals just to cover the secretarial interest. Just to cover their secretarial interest. As my second point goes, is doctor-patient ratio. In Kenya, the ratio of doctor to patient is 1:17,000, which is against the policy of World Health Organization, which shows the statistics that the ratio of doctor to patient should be 1:1,000. When I go in terms of remuneration, as you all know that working conditions in Kenya is challenging, it's very challenging for healthcare workers. The net salary of a doctor in Kenya is $800. Yet, the doctors in Zimbabwe earn $1,000 US dollars. The doctors in South Africa earn $2,500. So that we can reach that impression, the government should have to keep off the gap. Many doctors are resigning to seek better terms due to the poor payment they concur with. And last to my point, private healthcare systems, there is an effective based management.
The proposition have been asked if the government would be able to manage healthcare if we were to merge private and public healthcare systems. And the opposition have been asked why should resources such as radiotherapy machines be concentrated in private facilities which most people cannot afford. We'll have them respond. Third proposer, you have 3 minutes.
I, Salem Bundi, one of Meru School finest debaters, would like to take you on a venture that I need you to open up your eyes, both physical and inner eyes. I want you to view me in two perspectives, a context of a rich person and a context of a not so well-off person, okay? And I want you to view in a time that we have already accepted the new forum where we have incorporated, not completely banned and done away with, incorporated the private systems into the public system. Are you with me? Now, I am a rich person and we have not done that. I'm well off, right? I can just go to any hospital I want and get the medical care I want. I am that not well-off person, and that has not happened. It's tantamount to saying that not giving this chance, not accepting to incorporate the private medical field is tantamount to saying that we only want medical care to the people who can afford it. And medical care is not for just people who have money. It's not just something that we're doing because we want to be known because we have that good medical care. No, we want something that is going to be good for what? For our people. Something that is going to help them to get better and better. Now, once we decide to put the health in the hands of the private, do we know who we are giving our lives to? This could be quacks. For instance, at the Star, November 25th, 2016, an article stood out reading 37 health facilities in Trans Nzoia, Elgeyo Marakwet, and Uasin Gishu are not registered, yet doctors from that place make at least 150,000 shillings a month. And these are doctors from private facilities that we do not know where they come from. But yet we are deciding to put our trust in these people. Are we sure this is what we really need? But if we decide to place, we're incorporating the private medical field, yes? So it's part of the public, meaning these people are answerable to the government. Meaning if any leniency is spotted, we'll need just quality. So that person is sure to be sacked, right? And we are here after quality. Now, the question was posed, if we are to incorporate the private medical care, if we'll be able to cater for it. We are not just taking the doctors, we are also taking the doctors and their facilities. We're taking the doctors and all they have and making them like stakeholders in this other forum where public, they're answerable to the government, but the healthcare given is the same. We are taking them such that they can be answerable. If they make a mistake, they'll know who to answer to. Not people who if they have a good lawyer, they did something bad, they kumbaya, they go home. That is not what we are after. We are after quality. Isn't that right? So we don't want leniency. We want to incorporate the private field into the public, such that we have their facilities, but in a manner that is just and fair. And in such a manner, we'll be not only catering for one SDG, but 7. Thank you. Salim Bundi, arrest me.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes to respond to the audience.
My name is Abdulrazak Liku Mohammed. I'm here to strongly oppose the motion which reads, states should ban private health care in favor of a comprehensive public healthcare system. To start by answering the question. The question that has been raised has a common sense answer. I think as it has been asked, it is why is it that Nairobi Hospital has 2 radiotherapists, when maybe the other hospitals, the public hospitals, don't have? I have a simple answer. Private health centers are owned by individuals, and the public are owned by the entire government. So, do you want us to swallow falsely your point, which is stating that government cannot manage what a single individual has managed? On to my points. In 2015, when the teachers strike, everyone talked about it. Parents went out to the streets, demanding and requesting the teachers to be recalled. But just let us take a case study of the doctor strike, which was recently on. No one talked about it. No one talked about it. Did you ever ask yourself that question? Do you want to tell me that people were not sick? Do you? Do you guys want to tell me that people were not sick? Sick or not? Who was attending to them? Where were they resorting? And now concerning that strike, which just ended recently, after 4 months, we have a clear evidence that the people were very satisfied with the kind of, service provision they were getting from the private hospitals. And how do you want to convince me to kill our only savior, which is private health centers? Is that one logic? Is that one something that can be taken into our minds? Definitely, I bet no. On to my second point, the tragic event that took place on 2nd April 2015 at Garissa County, where 148 people were killed and some others were injured. Those with fatal injuries were admitted to Garissa General Hospital, but they were unable to be treated. because of lack of facilities. There were no doctors there. The people were unable to be treated. They were then admitted to the private hospital there. And it is our concern as Garissa people, whenever we remember that one, we always request people to observe a minute of silence in remembrance of those people. Now, do you want to tell me, do you want me to take that we should ban private hospitals in favor of a comprehensive public hospitals, in which cannot be managed? Thank you.
Meru School, you have 1 minute for your final submission.
So I, Richard Mshiri, was once told that a good debate is like a miniskirt, short enough to induce interest and long enough to cover what you cover. This debate ended before it even began. The motion itself says it all, comprehensive. Comprehensive, meaning it caters for everything. A nation's welfare resides in the hearts and souls of its people. Medicine should be a noble cause, not a cause for fattening the pockets of doctors. Doctors go on strike so that they can get bigger and better salaries. But as my colleague here said, the oath they took, no matter the situation, no matter what, they will serve the nation. So let us all strive to save the common Wanjiku. Let us all strive for one better healthcare, a comprehensive public healthcare. Who does not want to go to a good hospital just because you do not have the funds? Poverty is not a disability. So I think, to wrap things off, the Standard Development Goal number 17 should be the goal for 2017. Partnership for a better world. Thank you very much.
Mnara boys, you have 1 minute for your final submission.
Once again, I am Muhammad Noor Abdi Hussein from Mnara Boys High School. As I conclude, the Standard newspaper on Thursday, 8th June 2017, there was a case that was indicated. A 14-year-old girl that was a rape victim, Veronica Achieng, died just because of not receiving treatment since she was discharged from Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital due to the nurses striking. This is a true testimony of the status of public health care in our country. Our proposals of today's motion, the audience at large, and the panel of judges, how many Veronicas must perish? Yet we are discussing about private health care to be banned. As I conclude, thank you.
To Meru School, Morgan, it was a very creative start, when you came in as the first. Very good show that you had researched and arguments and good examples as well. Richard, good cross-examination. However, when you talked about 300,000 shillings, that's the cost of cancer, you want to give us the source, okay? Probably it could be less or more, we don't know. That was good examples, good speaker, very passionate as well. Salem, you were also outstanding in a way. You have a very good way of coherency, and that was very understandable for us. The way you come and try to reason with us. Good mastery of language, good role playing, and all you need to work on is managing your time. When the bell goes, you want to end at that point. I think Abdurazak was a very good manager of time. So, but all the best to both teams. We were very happy with what you did. Good job.
Mnara, you are a strong team. We could observe that. Nudin, quite combative at the beginning and very passionate. We could not, you can't afford to be ignored. Mohammed Noor, I think that example of India was quite appropriate and you brought it quite well. You're also very confident. I think I loved the way you came out with your statistics and the way you tried to engage us. However, Abdunur, look at us and engage us. Yeah? Desist from looking at your notes. They're just supposed to give you a reflection of what you already know so that you involve us. Abdurazak, you're good. Keep it up. I think you're a good debater. I loved the way you brought the transition, from the public to the private. I think that was good. May the best team win.
Meru School, the judges awarded you 72.5%. Please give them a round of applause. Mnara Boys, the judges awarded you 69%, making Meru School the winners of this debate.
Very well. Congratulations to the two teams on stage. We'd like to thank you, our studio audience, and our viewers back home. Keep watching the show. Keep the conversation going. Hashtag GDC for SDGs. I have been your host, Austin Yambok.
I am Mariam Bishar. Thank you for watching.
The Great Debaters Contest is powered by Blaze, by Safaricom, the Youth Network.